My street name was actually a nickname that my mother used to call me, but the streets took it and did what they did with it. She used to call me Little Trouble Man.
Little Trouble Man.
Trouble Man. She got 100 nicknames for me, Pooh Bear, whatever, like a whole bunch of them. But yeah. So the streets would call me Trouble, Trub for short. You know, I
Okay.
still go by Trub because I don't want to be the Trouble Man no more. But I still let them call me Trub because it's familiar to them.
Okay.
And now
Okay.
I just changed the demeanor and the direction of it.
Okay. So when you talk about the streets, so it's kind of brief us a little bit on when you say the streets, you affiliated with anything or were you ever affiliated with
Yes.
the life per se?
So once upon a time in my life, uh, due to my environment, the people I grew up around, uh, all I ever saw was red bandanas everywhere.
Okay.
So at a young age, I affiliated myself with Bloods before I even knew what a Blood really was, you know. And so yeah, that's what my affiliation was
Gotcha.
as a youngster.
And so you say Bloods and where'd you grow up at?
So I moved around a lot as a youngster, right? So I was born in Sedalia, Missouri.
Okay.
So I got family up and down that whole stretch of highway from Sedalia to Warrensburg to Columbia, back up here to the city where my father and his family was from.
Okay.
I bounced around a lot, but I made my name here.
In Kansas City. Is there any particular neighborhood specifically that we could say that you made your name per se?
So I was mostly in the 30s. So
In the 30s.
yeah.
Okay. Right on, man. I grew up in the 30s. Born and raised in the projects here at TB Watkins and around middle school. We moved to 32nd and Highland, man.
Okay.
And so very familiar with the neighborhood or whatever. And so I think I can relate to some of the stuff that you might talk to us about. So you're affiliated with the Bloods. How long were you affiliated with the Bloods, or do you still affiliate with the Bloods?
I don't affiliate with anybody from where I grew up in.
Okay.
I just don't.
How long were you in that life though?
From the time, like I said, for as far back as I can remember, but I really just like kind of came into my own around like 12 or 13.
Okay.
And so from that age to about 27, 28.
Okay.
I'm 30, I'm 39 now. I'll be 40 this year.
You said something real powerful. You said it was all that you ever seen. So you felt like, you tell me, was your decision made for you? Or do you feel like you're a product of your environment?
So let me go back. Let me correct myself because it's not all.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah.
So I grew up, my grandmother was an evangelist.
Okay.
My aunts, everybody was in the church.
Okay.
That's right. But as far as outside of my home, and when I walked out that door, the things that I seen and the things that influenced me the most, the guys driving the cars and doing all of that, at a young, impressionable age, that's what influenced me as a youngster. So leaving outside my household, those are the things that I saw.
So you talk about cars. You talk about would you say fast money or
Yeah,
okay, that was attractive to you.
absolutely.
Okay. And so was there somebody that you wanted to be like?
Absolutely. I ain't gonna speak his name.
Sure.
He sees this, he know who he is.
Yep.
He's actually doing time right now. And
Okay.
he is, but yeah, he definitely was the one. He was the flashiest dude I knew. And real light skinned, pretty boy, pretty hair, and always had a car, always had a bankroll. First person to ever show me a handgun in person, those things like that. So yeah, I looked up to him.
Okay. And so you would call him what would you say, a mentor maybe?
Something along those lines. Something along those lines. He was like the big homie. The streets, we call him the big homie, big bro.
Tell me what it's like. Well, tell me what your relationship. It says you the second.
Second.
Tell me about your pops.
Yeah. So why? Yeah, this is a deep one. So my pop, him and my mom, they was married. So I have two older sisters.
Okay.
Now, my older sister is not his biological child. So my second older sister, we're the only two of his biological children, right? So him and my mother were married. He left when I was around 10, 11, something like that. And never had anything to do with me after that. Named me after him, but didn't stick around to raise me. You know what I mean?
So up until 11,
Up until about 11 years old, he was there.
were you tight?
Yeah,
What was that relationship like?
I remember playing catch with him because he was a big baseball fanatic up until the day he passed.
Okay.
But yeah, I remember playing catch with him as a youngster. Baseball was my first sport. You know, in most black households, football, basketball be the first sport that you fall in love with. But mine was actually baseball.
You think it had anything to do with your father?
Oh, yeah, I know for a fact it did.
Okay.
I know for a fact it did.
And so that's up until 11. They split, and then he didn't have anything to do with you.
So he would do the absentee father thing, make promises, pop up when he wanted to pop up, or promise that he was coming and would never show. To the point to where my mother just stopped telling us that he was coming because he stopped showing up.
How'd that make you feel?
I remember at a young age, you know, just longing for that because I grew up in a house full of females. I'm the only boy, you know what I mean? So, and I'm the baby of the bunch. So I grew up in a house full of females. So I didn't know what it felt like to have a strong male presence around me. And so he would get my hopes up that he was showing up and never show up. And then when he did show up, it was unannounced and he was drunk.
Mm. Do you feel like he was struggling through some issues himself?
Absolutely, absolutely. So I guess we're gonna kind of fast track a little bit, but as I've gotten older and I lost my way in the world, right? I recognize and realize how easy it is for a man to lose his way in this world. So in me recognizing that in myself, I began to understand him more. And not even intentionally. It wasn't even that I was setting out to try to understand this man because we didn't have a relationship like that. Right. But just naturally it just happened that way.
So would you go as far to say like genetic predisposition?
I honestly, I believe so, because it's crazy because all of his talents and attributes, this is what I do know about this man. He was a highly intelligent individual, former Marine, avid sports fan, played baseball, softball up until the day he passed. A great artist, pen, pencil, everything. All of those attributes I carry myself. Every single one of them.
But he didn't teach them to you.
He didn't teach any one of them to me.
But you do those things now.
All of those things.
That's powerful.
Thank you for listening and join the movement at Let's Talk Shop. We are changing the community one conversation at a time. If you want more content like this, please like, subscribe, and share our page at Let's Talk Shop KC. May the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight, Lord, my rock and my redeemer. Until next time.